Can you all hear my music? Sing with me, Josh. I'm still standing. Hope you're all still standing. You're healthy. You are joining us, so that means you're alive. So that's good.
Last night, Heather and I were thinking about what we're doing and talking about wanting to have some kind of intro music, and Heather was just crying, laughing, looking at like the most ironic songs imaginable. And
no, it wasn't even. Hold on, it wasn't even the most ironic. It was like, it was. I Googled, but I Googled something and it was a video of some guy from like, yeah, but it was like a video from like 4 years ago that some guy was like, what would be your theme song of your life? And it was the funniest thing ever. It was like,
I will survive and I'm still standing and
oh, I should have written them down because they were so funny. I was dying. I was crying laughing. But we love Elton John, and we love Johnny's song from the movie Sing, right, Afton? Yeah. And so,
it also reminded me of like 90s sitcoms too. I wanted to like make some awkward thumbs up pose while I was working on a car or something.
Yep. So we may or may not create a video for that.
90s sitcom style.
Not yet. Yeah. Just go watch like a Full House intro video and you'll see what we're going to put together. It's going to be pretty exciting. I started a video this morning but ran out of time. So anyway, today we are going to discuss something that's come up a lot this week with everyone, with our pandemic, with what's going on. And there's one common thread that everyone keeps talking about to stay healthy, and that is hydration. And it's the hardest thing. I hate water. I always have. It's not my favorite thing to drink, but I come up with ways to stay hydrated, and we just want to share those things with you because I think it's really important. Hey, Tasha, good to know that you're with us. I'm so excited. Ooh, I'm seeing everybody who's joining in now. Oh, Afton, don't touch that, please. You're gonna knock that over. No, you can't tell me something right now, baby. Oh wait. So, Jana, you asked. This is me, scroll, and child. But Jana, you asked last week about why we decided to get into teaching, and although that has not very much to do with hydration, we do want to answer your question. So my story is kind of fun. Josh has, both of us have very different stories, but really good stories. So my story starts out, keep doing this. That's like the sign language for more. Like, I must be hungry. Or we'll come back to that. Okay, so here's the deal. When I was a sophomore in high school, well, actually in ninth grade, we did this little test thing to show like what your interests were. I had huge respects for Garbage Men, but I just remember doing the whole thing going, I hope it's not Garbage Man. I hope it's not Garbage Man. And what I ended up, I'll tell them that after.
Tell them about like the interest I know about right after.
Yes, I will, honey. Why don't you go sit on the couch? Okay. So, I was in ninth grade, took this test, and it said like environmental engineer. Oh, yeah, that's what ninth grade told me, and that scared me because my sister was an electrical engineer and my dad was an electrical engineer, and I did not want to go through that school. So I was like, okay, well, that's not my path. Then my sophomore year, I decided I wanted to do veterinary medicine, and I talked to my dad about it, and he was not super excited because it's school and a lot of debt. And so he mentioned, hey, you've been teaching horseback riding lessons, you could pretty much walk, and you like to help people with choir, music education. And I actually had never even thought of being a teacher because I knew they didn't make a lot of money. And in my mind, I had to make a lot of money. I think in every kid's mind, that's like where you're at. But anyway, long story short, I couldn't decide. My dad threw that in my mind and I couldn't decide. And so we decided to flip a coin. Heads was teaching choir because people have heads and it's like a man's head on the penny. Um, I guess it wasn't a penny, it was a quarter. And then tails because animals have tails. So that was veterinary medicine. And we flipped the coin and it landed on heads. And I am a firm believer of, just fate. That's how this happened. So
I think that's how most things in our relationship and our lives have happened. It can be interesting the be enough that thread into my story too, where I've always had a lot of interests and a lot of passions and a lot of different hobbies. And in high school, I took a lot of different AP classes, and I was in soccer, and I did Spanish, and I loved psychology, and I was always in music, and I was always really scattered. And anytime I would do one of those vocational tests too, it would just kind of scatter me in all different directions. And I decided to stay in state. I was really hard set on going out of state just because I love the idea of being somewhere new and somewhere different and seeing new things and meeting new people, but ended up deciding to stay in state at Boise State until I figured out what I wanted to invest my tuition towards. And it was the week before classes started. I had registered with an undeclared major, and I just picked a bunch of my favorite classes, Spanish and music and those things, and didn't feel very good about spending that much money on school, knowing what it was going to go towards. And advising appointment, and the graduate assistant that was there brought up times kind of like Heather's dad did, where he said, I noticed you said you taught music lessons before and that you really care about people, and that's why you're interested in psychology or counseling, and you really enjoy helping people. Have you ever thought about teaching music? And I laughed at him, and similar to what Heather said, I'd say, I can't think of a more underappreciated profession than teaching, and I loved my teachers, and I know how hard it was for them at times, and that wasn't something I ever envisioned myself doing. But the more we talked about it in conversation, the more I really latched onto that idea of it really would give me a great avenue to help people and to see people grow and to continue doing something that I was really passionate about with music. And I said, sure, let's try music ed. And it was basically like throwing a dart in the dark and just saying, why not? Why not? Like flipping a coin. But
yeah.
So I ended up taking my music ed classes, and just within the first couple days, I thought, man, I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. Spending my whole day doing music, and I get to work with kids and do fun things, and it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. Every single day, I loved it more and more. And once I actually got in front of a classroom and started working with kids, it was just the best. I absolutely loved it. And so
it really is.
Kind of
was
ironic circumstances for how we both ended up in music ed, but
and how we're both out of music ed. But we're gonna start a choir. Well, whenever social distancing is not a thing.
Not a virtual version, but we'd love to actually do an in-person.
Yeah.
Adult.
I don't know. I mean, our
dreams and visions. And
yeah, our awesome friend Jeff, who's doing this broadcast, said that maybe he'll look into helping us do like a virtual choir. There's so much that goes into it. I don't even know if we could do that, but we do want to start a young adults choir that will start this summer if we can, while everyone's home from college and stuff. So
depending on global circumstances, but I think one thing that Heather and I, obviously, with teaching, we feel so about is helping people.
Yep.
And I think with everything going on lately, just any quick little tips that we can share just to help people out. There's obviously the hand washing recommendation that everyone keeps saying, the 20 seconds, and using gel soaps and all that recommendation too. But hydration, like Heather said, has been another really important. A lot of people are recommending that you take drinks at least every minutes to not only stay hydrated, but just to continue to wash.
And hot drinks are recommended more than cold drinks. You can't survive in hot conditions.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go along with that. Not with the virus, but just in general with your health, and that's another huge passion of ours outside of music is health and well-being. And so hydration is such a huge cornerstone in that. And so we just want to share a couple quick tips that not only give you some tools to help you be in a good position to have your personal health in order against something like a virus, but just to create overall well-being. And so,
and there are days when I don't get much water in, and I feel so crappy, and I'm crabby, and it's hard for me to drink water still to this day. But dang, if I don't water, I really, really feel it. Yeah. Um, maybe you know this, but water takes up like 55 to 60% of your body. And body can't store it, unlike fat, so you need it all the time. That's why drinking 64 to 100 ounces a day is recommended. It helps your body in so many ways, which we'll get to. I want to read you a little something from one of our books. It says water plays a key role in supporting health, particularly during weight loss. So when it helps remove toxins and other unhealthy substances stored in your fat cells. Being well hydrated helps all your organs and systems function properly. In fact, every function in your body takes place in water. It's the solvent that moves nutrients, hormones, antibodies, and oxygen through your bloodstream and lymphatic system and removes waste, which is the hormone thing. That's probably why it makes me feel so crappy, you know. I don't know. I'm sure I'm getting up to like menopausal age eventually. We'll talk about menopause. And of course, it's essential to your kidneys' ability to filter and eliminate metabolic byproducts and toxins. If you don't drink enough, your body is forced to recycle dirty water. Ew. Diminishing the efficiency of every metabolic function. That's really gross.
Mm-hmm. And that reminds me of this analogy that I heard a couple years ago, that with the importance of pure water. And I think Heather wanted to share another tip on just what are good good things to hydrate yourself with versus not so great things to hydrate yourself with. And that recycled water kind of reminded me of it, that water basically serves a bathing function for your insides, and you wouldn't want to take a bath in something like soda or alcohol or any of those things. And so you wouldn't want to rely on those for your internal hydration in the same way. So pure water is definitely the way to go and the most efficient. And so that's why it's recommended for that 64 to 100 ounces of pure water, not just any liquid thing. So not 64 to 100 ounces of coffee necessarily.
Right. But actually, you're like me to something that I was going to talk about. No, we're not. I got little Scotty dog tabs.
That's true. We have our bullet points.
So you just shut up.
Both squirrel brains.
Yeah. It's way more fun. Like I just can't, if I plan to, same in the classroom, if I plan too much, then I get so scared to stick to the plan that I'm going to forget something. But if I just know the basics, it's way more entertaining anyway. So healthy choices of hydration: purified water, bottled water, which not all bottled water is good. I mean, I read on the internet that some just tap water is better than bottled water, but bottled water is good. Okay. Then also tea, especially green tea. Green tea is helpful of super healthy benefits, decreasing inflammation, preventing cancer, and improving your learning. Coffee, black coffee. This was a birthday mug. I got 6 of them, and I love them because I can see what's inside of it. You'll see this later, but I like to see what I'm drinking. And then infused water, like the calorie crystal ice. Now, of course, you want pure water. That is the best source of hydration. But I mean, the black coffee, the tea. So it says in here that people used to think that coffee was a diuretic. But coffee actually has a high level of antioxidants. It decreases depression, reduces the risk of some cancers, and can help you live longer. So it may slow down your cognitive, increase stamina, and even protect against adult diabetes. So I didn't know this, you guys, and I'm a huge coffee. I was like, I am sold. It says, it makes you go to the bathroom more must be a diuretic, but that's totally not true. This idea dates back to a 1928 study, very outdated, and it wasn't with rigorous research. So the results spread like wildfire that coffee was a diuretic. Caffeine also has been considered diuretic. A recent study finds that coffee and caffeine in other drinks won't in fact cause dehydration. Okay, so honey, you can't right now. I'm so happy you're here with us, but you.
Well, I can tell them about like water, like cold and.
Okay, why don't you tell them how much you love water real quick?
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, tell them.
No,
You do love water. Do you drink water? What?
I wanted to tell them that water and milk can be dessert.
Oh, Afton says that water and milk can be dessert. Dessert? Okay.
Hudson, do you want to tell them how you get to fill up your own water bottle and how much you love to do that?
I like to fill up my water bottle all day, like every day and every night when I'm like feeling that I need to get drinks before I like get my drinks.
You like to stay hydrated.
Yes. I say hydrated.
Hi, who?
Hydrated.
Oh, God, thanks. Afton and Scott have just recently had permission to fill up their own water, so they think it's pretty fun to be able to push the button and fill up their cup. So,
Speaking of, sweetheart, I gotta put you down for a second because I gotta hold up something even heavier. Although you're close. So, speaking of water, yeah, I know it hurts me. My arm actually hurts from last night. So the thing, yeah, this is full. It's not. It's close. If it's so this five-gallon thing of water that we use for our water thing. Oh, Costco, by the way, has a really great deal on this stuff. This is how much weight I lost. And if you asked me to carry this around the neighborhood, I wouldn't be able to do it. I held it over my head last night. You can see my profile picture. That went well.
I was really hoping that I could have taken a live picture of it because it really was so entertaining.
Yeah. And then I think about getting on my horse and then having somebody hand this to me. Like my horses are very, very thankful too. So that's it. Josh, show everybody how much water weight you lost. Not water weight, but
2-gallon jugs. That's just shy of 20 pounds. 20-pound weight I lost, and it's the same thing that Heather was describing. We're taking that weight up. What I use around.
Oh, sorry, I walked away.
So the 2-gallon jugs are just shy of 20 pounds, and that's how much weight I lost. And anytime I get a chance to pick up that weight, whether it's water or just anytime I'm intentionally thinking about that, it's just like Heather described it. It's crazy to think about how we used to carry that all the time, and it's really liberating to be able to set that weight back down and think, oh, I'm not carrying that around anymore. It's awesome.
Yep.
And it was also just a good reminder last night to pick up that water and thinking about how much we need to be drinking. And earlier on, Heather was doing the man sign, and another thing, just healthy habit thing to be aware of is that our brain sends us the same signal for when we're hungry and when we're thirsty, and oftentimes we confuse that, or we are just kind of habit eating, especially when we're in quarantine. We're so close to our kitchen or the snack pantry, but oftentimes our brain is telling us to hydrate when we think it's telling us that we need to snack. And so it's the same signal. And so definitely be thinking about that throughout the day, that are you really hungry, or do you really need to eat, or do you really need to hydrate? Because it feels like the same signal that we get.
I will tell them about how much. Afton's gonna fill up my water. I'm embracing this, you guys. I'm really.
Normally, Afton and Scott would be at
daycare, but
at
it's
their
spring
daycare,
break.
but it's spring break, and they're home, and extended spring break right now.
So I think what Josh was talking about, I don't even know, but hey, to not hydration. Okay, fruit juices, soda, almond, coconut, and flax milk.
It's not that they're bad things. It's just not what you should consider part of your 64 to 100 ounces of hydration.
Yeah, I just touched my face. Don't touch your face. Diet soda, drinks, sports drinks, and alcohol. There are some like Gatorade and Powerade Zeros that are good for electrolyte replenishing when you need it. Okay, you can tell them about my water bottle, and we're going to get to water bottles right now. So that was a great segue, Afton. Good job. So Afton is holding my favorite water bottle. It actually, the idea came from my St. Luke's. I had my friend's daughter put some decals on here, but when I had Scotty, I got this from St. Luke's. And I realized, like I said earlier, I like to see what I'm drinking. So we ordered some more. I love to see how much water I'm drinking a day. I drink 3 of these a day, or that's always my goal, which would be about 90 ounces, a little bit more than 90 ounces. I love that it has the option to... Yeah, okay, so you can use a straw, like this big fat straw I really like, but I've also learned that I really just like any straw. And then there's some days where I just want to drink just straight out of this. So I have 2 of these purple ones and then this blue one. But to get to this point, ooh, that would have been really bad. To get to this point though, we have a lot of water bottles. These I hate, but Josh loves the Nalgene. I hate it. It gets water on the bridge of my nose. It's just, ugh. This is another one that is Josh's favorite, another one that I hate. This one I bought because
Opposites
it was cute.
attract, right?
Right? No drama, llama. But again, I don't know, I just hate, like, it's just like a lid that you screw off, and I hated that.
Heather's found that she really likes straws.
I really like straws.
More than open containers.
So then I bought this one because it had rainbows and unicorns on it, and who doesn't want to? But it doesn't hold enough water, so that's Afton's. Hey, why don't you go fill this up for us? That's a great idea.
So this is like
Yeah, go fill that, baby. And then we got this, but it's big. But it's nice though because it keeps things cold. But I don't like cold water. I like room temperature water. So, and I love to drink hot water. That's like we go to restaurants and that's what I order for my beverage is hot water. People look at me weird, but it's free and it's warm and I'm always cold. So you are so good at filling up water, Afton. Why don't you fill up this llama one too? Okay. Keep her busy. We're gonna have a lot of water bottles today. Okay.
Stay very hydrated.
Yeah, very hydrated. I feel like okay. So answer me this. There are quite a few of you watching. We lost some people, I think, but why don't you guys tell me in this chat on this stream, and hopefully I can see it, how many ounces of water you drink a day? Oh, good job, Afton.
And sometimes holding up the mirror can be a little challenging too. So actually, honestly thinking about how much you drink. And for me, before we really kind of got serious about our health, that was one of the only things that I had going for me. I was really diligent about drinking a lot of water during the day. Heather, not so much. She was drinking a ton of coffee, but not a whole lot of pure water. So that was a big learning curve for her. And part of that is figuring out which water bottle she likes and some of those things. But yeah, really thinking about how much you're actually drinking right now, I think is important. And then is it important for you to move that forward and make hydration a priority and using some of these tips to help you out? So every time you eat, drink some water and finding something, whether it's a straw or an open container or a small container or a large container, some way of tracking how much you're drinking.
Some
and
people put like bands, like
Yeah.
bands on their water bottle and move them for each time they refill the water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Jana says I'm trying to aim for 3 water bottles per day. Good job, sweetheart. I love that. So yeah. Oh, Sandy, 70 ounces. That's fabulous. That is like right in the ballpark. Good job. Here are a few good reasons to make conscious decisions, okay? To drink pure water especially.
Mm-hmm.
It's calorie free, but helps you feel full and satisfied. Here, every other people left out.
From over, there's a lot of studies that show that when we feel 30% of the time, our bodies are actually signaling for water. So that's one of the things that we were talking about earlier. So really thinking about, am I really wanting a snack, or is my body actually telling me that I'm in need of some hydration?
And then it facilitates the removal of toxins such as pesticides and preservatives from your cells. And that's definitely why I feel so crappy on days that I don't drink enough of my water.
Prevents dehydration as your body eliminates excess salts and water from our diet, especially with processed foods, and a lot of the things that we consume culturally here in America are really sodium rich, and so it's definitely a good thing to continue to flesh out, because sodium will lead to things like heart disease and blood pressure.
Yeah. Minimizes or eliminates fatigue, your lack of energy, headaches, and unclear thinking. And if you are drinking a lot of water and trying to change your diet away from those processed, you might experience a headache. And if that happens, get some electrolytes in your body, maybe a Catered Zero or Powerade Zero, a pickle, anything like
pickle
that.
juice.
Yeah, you can drink some of this water. I just had some. It's yummy.
Speeds up your metabolism, and there's studies that show that drinking 2 8-ounce glasses of cold water increases your metabolic rate by 30% for 90 minutes. So that's, again, one of those things, each time you eat or have a snack, challenge yourself to drink some water with it too, to increase your metabolic rate and speed up of that, but also just continue throughout the day.
Yep. And then it also helps your liver convert fat to energy. It's one of my favorite parts. You know, taking that fat, converting it to energy, and getting rid of it.
Yep.
Rather than your body constantly just trying to get rid of the sugar and extra non-essential calories in your body.
Yep. And if you're looking at if you're in that chapter of your nutrition, then it helps compensate for the lack of your glycogen stores. Your body is burning off that stored energy, so that bonded water and carbs and sugars, it helps compensate for that flush as well.
Yeah. So you guys, thanks for joining us today. We went way over time, but we talked about our teaching, and then we had special guests today. Afton, tell them what you just said about that water.
So water has a lot of protein, so then you get healthy, and then you make
it's healthy.
Happiness, and then you also drink it like twice a day, twice a night, and you always give it a drink, so then you stay healthy and don't drink any like soda or anything that's not a healthy drink. Just drink healthy water, milk.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's great.
And Afton, what about your oh, Tasha says, Afton, you're amazing. Say thank you. Yeah, so you guys shoot any questions you ever have, anything. We will try to answer them. I mean,
it's fun for us. We just love this idea of connecting, and I think we were having this conversation yesterday too. Oh, I just touched my face. Sorry. But we were just having this conversation yesterday about the whole social distancing thing and just the need for human connection, and that's in this virtual platform for the time being. But we just really enjoyed the time of getting to answer questions, getting to talk to each other, having special guests like Afton, but really just feeling like we're connecting with people and spreading hope and positivity. That's really our aim from this, is to take a break from some of the negative going on and focus on some positives, or at least some positive changes that we can be making.
oh, yeah, tell them
do you want to talk about washing your hands?
So when you wash your hands, you have to be like, wash your hands. When people are sick, you have to wash your hands. Like every day when they're like sick, you have to wash their hands.
How long do you wash your hands for?
12 minutes maybe.
That's very clean.
So you sing the ABCs for maybe like 4 minutes or 5 or 6, and then
She's very patient.
And then you're like washing your hands, and then you like dry them on towel, and like play, or like can go to the playground.
How far up your arm do you wash your hands?
I do like this.
Yeah, we get pretty far up, huh? Tasha says, don't forget your wrists, which is true. We try to get up to our arms and we try to get in between our fingers. So often we need to let these people go. So yes, I'm like this. On the backs of your hands.
Often we say, I hope everybody have a wonderful day. And that
everybody has a wonderful day.
And that you stay safe and stay healthy.
Stay safe and stay healthy.
And we'll talk to you soon.
And we love you.
And we do love you.
And talk to you soon.
Okay, hit that play button.
Often right there.
Hit it.
We're going to listen to some music real quick.
This is our closing music. Let's dance, Dustin.
I have to see you later, guys. Give some thumbs up.
Don't forget to subscribe.